Guys and dolls, Freedom Dot here, and we're in the city centre, just shadowing CJ, and just with everything that's going on with the death threats and all that. So I'm with a young man. What part of Belfast are you from, yet?
I just like that. I would just like you to be anonymous,
Right,
please.
okay, no problem. So tell me, what have you got to say to my community and people in Belfast, Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales, and Ireland?
Yeah. Well, what I got to say is I was in prison. I'm only out of prison there. Guys are cutting themselves to get on their medication. They're taking people off medication. Whenever you go out, you're put into a hostel where maybe 20 people. You know what I mean? You know the hostel. You know it's not working. The system's failing. There's men taking their lives. There's men killing themselves. Whenever I was in prison myself, I seen boys get on hunger strike. I had to cut the arms of myself to get on a medication that was on outside. I just want the truth out there. What's
Yeah.
going on?
So rehabilitation, is there any of that?
There's no rehabilitation. No,
So
no.
basically, people who are medicated or
Yep.
subscribed medication will are having problems getting that medication
Yes.
in prison.
Yes. Yes.
What reason is that?
Well, what they're trying to say is, look, there's too many people on it, and
Yeah,
they don't have the what is it, the capacity.
yeah,
They put people on medication,
yeah,
so then people resort to going on hunger strike,
yeah, yeah,
cutting their wrists and cutting themselves, and mental health is deteriorating.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I've been through mental health and drug addictions and all that. Lost my mum when I was 8, put in the care, Rathgale, all the rest of it. I've done 18 years in Scotland, 3 years, 6 years in Northern Ireland, and 6 years in England, all for armed robberies. And I have first-hand experience of prison life and drug addictions. What's the answer?
What's the answer? There needs to be more. There needs to be more money put into helping people and getting out of prison and also in prison. There needs to be more money from the stormont, the government. There's people.
Where do you think the money's going? Where do you think the money's going? Because there's money there. Where do you think it's going?
Well, they keep talking on the news and they keep saying that they're going to build this big rehabilitation centre. Where is the money going? It's true. Where is the money going? Because people need rehab. People are killing themselves. People are taking their lives.
Yeah.
Being straight up, the government have blood in their hands. They're not helping people. There's people on the street right now, as we can see.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we do. We're having a look because we understand that we have a problem with mass immigration, illegal, irregular immigration, and these guys don't seem to be having any problems with accommodation and getting medication and all the rest of it. Well, how does that make you feel?
Well, I'm not bitter. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if you're Hindu or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But yes, I can see I'm sitting stuck in a hostel. Me and a few guys were stuck in a hostel and I went up literally around the corner, top flats. And yes, immigrants are all living in the top flats, while us guys are free on the hostel.
Yeah. So just going back to the prison thing, what's the prisons like right now in Northern Ireland?
It's disgusting.
Is it true?
Disgusting.
Is there a man?
It's complete and utter capacity is full. They're putting it with the sure we were all in cells that was only made for one man. Do you know what I mean? We're in
Yeah.
cells. Seen boys mental health going. Seen boys cutting themselves. Again, I keep repeating that. Seen boys hanging themselves. That's crazy. It's
So
going crazy.
that's when I was in prison. We didn't see much of that, you
Yeah.
know. But back in the day, there wasn't a drug problem in Belfast. What's the situation with drugs in the city centre right now and surrounding areas?
Basically, as you can see with your own eyes, I don't have to even speak about that or make a comment about that. You can see it with your own eyes. You
Yeah.
walk through Belfast, there's people lying down. You know, when's the government storming or the DUP or whoever they say they are? When are they going to start helping people? Because these people are dying. They're dying.
Have you seen a change in the drugs? I have. I don't know when it is because I've been here, there, and everywhere. When has the change? When is we never had like the serious hardcore drugs? You know what I mean? It was we had a bit of weed, a bit of white, a bit of the old bumblebees. You know what I mean? What's happened? When did it change? How long's it been?
It's changed big time now, as you say, it really big. But what's this here thing? Every time I hear the news or this rehab, when are they going to build this big rehab in Northern
Yeah,
Ireland? They keep talking about building rehab. There's a lot of guys I think if they want the rehab, they wouldn't be in prison.
yeah, yeah,
You know, if you sort of, a drug addiction makes you do things that you know that's not you.
yeah,
You do silly things. People break into things.
yeah,
People do
yeah,
things for drugs. Same as myself. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
They have ruined my life. I have a child, and I haven't been in his life because of drugs.
yeah.
And yeah, drugs do ruin you. Drugs do ruin lives.
You look well. You look healthy. So I take it you're trying
Yep,
to
yep,
go on that
yep.
road.
Well, I'm actually on a program at the minute, so I am. That's why I don't really want to keep anonymous, but
Yeah,
I'm on a program at the minute. It's called the sub program, or as you say, the methadone program.
yeah, yeah,
But the prison service put me on methadone, and it ruined me. I couldn't sleep. It was deteriorating me.
yeah, yeah.
They're putting you on something that doesn't help.
They're putting you on something. They're taking you from one addiction and giving you
Yes.
another addiction,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you've got to deal with that addiction. And the addiction that they're giving you with methadone is even worse to come off than heroin.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm going through it right now. I'm coming down to him all the time, and I feel, sometimes you feel like you're dying. You're
You know,
stuck.
my advice would maybe drop it to 5 mil. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's
Because
what I mean.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah, definitely. So, listen, I want to wish you the best of luck. And so, your main concern is there's no mental health services, there's no proper drug services in the prisons, and then when you get out of prisons, what's it like?
This is the big thing. What I would like to get out there. Whenever you go out of prison, they put you in a hostel, right? With obviously 20 men. It's all the same. With all drug addictions.
Yep.
So go ahead. What's going to happen?
You're going to get guys that aren't doing. They're only they're probably there because they're on bail. They're probably there because they're tagged. And if you're seriously trying to come off, is this a common thread in Scotland and England? Putting drug users together, and because and you'll get if you've got a group of drug dealers in a certain place, you're going to have drug dealers coming in that area.
Well, I don't really. I don't really want to comment on that there.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'll comment on it. Like in Scotland and England, where there's drug users who are trying to come off drugs, the drug dealers will target them areas. And that's the really tough thing. These guys have got nothing, no resource, nothing going for them as far as help getting off and getting their lives back. So this man can see his child again. Yep. That's all you want, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, I just want to be a father to my child. Each and every day it breaks my heart. And yes, I'll be straight over this microphone. I do resort to addiction, but that's to kill the pain of not seeing my child. I haven't seen my wee boy in 8 years. And yes, that does kill me. So I turn to addiction to kill the pain. And basically that's what's happening. But what I would really love is, I've heard it in the news, I've heard the storm that going on about it. When's this big rehab getting built, and when are they going to start helping people? Because they do have blood in their hands. There's people dying in the street, dying.
Yeah, there's people down in the street, so you hear that in Belfast. So, you're not on camera, don't know your name, don't know where you're from. So I'm going to ask you a really personal question. So, is there anything happened in your life growing up that's led to you? Because that's what happened to me. You know what I mean? So,
well, same thing again. I don't really want to comment. Yes, a lot of stuff happened in my life. Yes, a lot of stuff.
Fair enough, mate. And that's the common consensus. It's trauma. It's complex PTSD, and it's trying to cope with that in society today when there's no help. People look down at you, and it's really difficult for these men who truly want to come off. And I just want to say thank you so much for talking to me. And I'm Freedom Dad, and if you just look at Freedom Dad and Freedom Dad FD on Facebook and Freedom Dad 73 on YouTube, you put in Freedom Dad, you'll find me. Thanks very much, mate.
Also, what I say is, you saying this is me, Freedom Dad. Also, what I say is when is Stormont going to build this here big thing? Because there's people let dying, as you can see on the street. There's people dying, overdosing. Stormont needs to get the resources out. Never mind putting people in prison. Yeah. Put them in rehab.
Is there a name in this rehab? So I can ask these politicians.
Well, all I've just heard it in the news. Yes, but yes, put it to them. When there's people protesting in front of the Stormont of people taking their lives. Yeah. Mental health is a big thing in Northern Ireland. When are they going to help? Somebody threw themselves off we call them a car park, threw themselves off it. That wasn't on the news. Why are they covering up? They've got
silence. They're silencing. They don't want people to know how much trouble the British Council and the Belfast Council and everything is, and how there's so little resources. But that takes me right back to 400 million we've just spent on illegals for hotels. You know what I mean? And 400 million, guys.
I don't even feel like I'm in my own country. I'm not being racist, but I feel like I'm not in my own country.
That's the general consensus.
They're all the best apartments. I'm not being rude. I'm not being racist, but they are getting all the top-notch apartments, and we're getting free on the hostels. And you don't even feel human.
So this is Freedom Dad on the streets of Belfast, bringing to you what the government don't want you to know, and this is what citizen journalism is all about. These guys are crying out for help. There's lots of guys. Now, not everybody wants help. Some people, they're not at that stage. This man's at that stage. I can tell you that now, and he's looking help. Reach out to me on Freedom Dad FD on Facebook, mate, and send me a message, okay? And we'll be there for the Freedom Dad community, and the team will be there for you, mate. And 100%. So there's not a lot I can do. You know what I mean? I'm not an official. I'm not a government official. Nothing like that. I'm just a citizen journalist who does his bit to bring stuff to the platform and to my community that no other mainstream media. You'll not see Stephen Nolan down here talking to these guys. And this is the thing. You know what I mean? They're very selective in who they bring on. He brought on Abdul the other day to say how tough life was for him. You know what I mean? Well, bring this man on, see how tough this man's life is, because Abdul can go to many places around the world. This man he's from Belfast. This is his city, or this is his country, and he's got nowhere else to go. I'm Freedom Dad, reporting from Belfast. God bless.